Hey, you're watching Half Asian Tarot Queen, and I'm Elisa. Just a reminder, the monthly giveaway for September is the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, so I'm going to be featuring this later on in the reading. If you're interested in entering that giveaway, the giveaway is headquartered in the September monthly reading, which is featured on the main page of the channel, and I'll link it here as well. I'm going to start the reading with the Mystical Shaman Oracle, which is pretty much my favorite deck. But yeah, the monthly reading for September was pretty interesting. I mean, it was all about like some long-held obstructions being removed and paving the way for sort of like a new cycle of life. And so yeah, the readings that have come through for September have been really powerful. And the last couple readings that I have done in particular have been speaking to a really profound shift that's kind of going on. So a lot of energy that's kind of being worked through. So I'm doing a few, more readings than I've been doing lately because there's just been a lot of energy coming through. So we're just going to keep going with that theme because, yeah, there was a reading a few days ago called Liberation, and then there were, the reading right after that was really powerful as well. So anyway, this one looks like it's going to be pretty intense as well. So, okay, at the bottom of the reading, we have Taming the Wind. I feel like this just came through. But this card speaks to co-creation with the universe. And it speaks to, this reminds me of the movie, I was talking about this really recently, Forrest Gump, because he comes to these turning points in his life and this like feather drops from the sky, so it's like a sign from your ancestors about which way to go. And it's interesting because the next card we also have is the Ghost Dance, which this is a card that your ancestors are present and there's a lesson that they're trying to impart, and there might be some pattern or way of thinking that they're trying to help you to see past it, to heal so that you can evolve. And that goes right into Thunder, which is a like, huge profound wake-up call, and it's a call of like your destiny, and so this is just like basically a moment of change is like arriving upon you, and like the advice is to not be attached to an outcome and to be flexible because things are changing, and your ancestors are watching over you and guiding you through this change, but they have a lesson that they want to teach you because they want you to evolve past some sort of limiting belief or something that's been holding you back, which goes right into the Curse, which this is a card of a limiting belief or thought pattern or a way of thinking or being that's holding you back, and you might not be aware of it because it might be inherited from your ancestors. So for example, like a scarcity complex, like maybe you always had trouble with money, your family always had trouble with money, and so you're carrying that forward because you believe that that's the way it is, but actually it's not, but if you want to have a different experience in life, you have to believe in a different experience. And so that patterning can be really hard to change, when you've lived your whole life, and it can be hard to see, that maybe there's some situation in your family or the way that you grew up that's like you just adapted to, and you don't even realize you're doing it. It's like an unconscious pattern. So these cards speak to a big shakeup in that regard and a change. Like, you're gonna see what it is that you've been doing that's maybe been holding you back, and it might not even be your fault, you know. Okay, so we've got Muse Tarot, which I'm going to go to get some overall energies for this reading. But yeah, the last couple readings have been speaking to a profound shift. There was a reading a couple days ago called Liberation, and it was talking about dropping this huge burden that wasn't even yours, you know. Oh my gosh, all these cards just freaking fell out. So, just this pile just plopped out. So it was just like some really powerful emotions, and you know, we just had thunder, so obviously, like, it's like boom. We had a reading actually a couple days ago that was called Boom, the Truth is Out. So, you know, that was like speaking to like this catalyzing event that was sparking this huge change. But at the bottom we have Sun, the Sun, which is the best card in the deck. You know, it's like happiness, abundance, fertility. It's just like everything that you'd want in life. And so that's what we're moving towards. So this is good, actually. Okay, so this is interesting because again, like, it's just crazy how these like cards line up color-wise and everything. But okay, so the cards we got the Ten of Emotions, we got the Muse of Emotions, which is kind of like the King of Cups, and we got the Two of Inspiration, which is like the Two of Wands in a traditional deck. So basically, I mean, this Ten of Emotions is a card of like total emotional fulfillment. You know, like we've got this chorus line and they're all manifesting this beautiful outcome. But this is a card of just emotional fulfillment. So it's just like, you know, and then with the Sun underneath, like, this is really, really good and really powerful. But then we also have the Muse of Emotion, which this is someone, the King of Cups is someone who's completely in their power. They've like removed all their blockages in their emotional realm. They've empowered themselves, you know. And there was a reading a couple days ago called Truth, Clarity, and Empowerment, and talking about that, like just speaking truth to things that are blocking your manifestation, and then like removing those blockages and stepping into your power. So coming into this, and it's interesting because this King of Cups falls right under this wake up call, you know. So I feel like that reading is going to be really relevant. And then we come to this sort of like a turning point. Like the Two of Inspiration is like a turning point, you know. It's just like you're kind of, it's like a fork in the road. You're either going to go one way or the other. So this is just like a huge turning point that your ancestors are guiding through, like healing this long-held pattern, which may have, you know, the origins might have even predated your own existence, and healing that, and this profound shift coming online from that. Pretty big. So okay, I'm going to the Golden Art Nouveau now, which is the deck that is being featured for the month of September. I mentioned it in the beginning because we're doing a giveaway of this deck. I love the artwork. It's very golden. But I'm just going to kind of try to get some more clarity about what's happening in this reading. Woo, we just had a bunch of cards flip out. Okay. Wow. OMG. Okay. A couple more. If you're new to the channel, I just want to let you know that the videos on this channel are not arranged according to date or zodiac sign, as is often the case. They're arranged according to storyline. So I'll link relevant videos up here, because the readings are all essentially timeless, but and then I also link them in threads or playlists where the storylines kind of like might be related, and that's down below. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck we have the Chariot. So this is a card of just like seizing the reins, you know, and like you also have the light and the dark, and there's like command of that tension, you know, so that's like the King of Cups, like someone who's stepped into their power. So it's just like you've addressed your shadow elements, and you have like come to your own inner understanding of how that interplay works, so that you can sort of like move forward, you know, like these are not issues that are like blocking you or making you dysfunctional or stopping you from being who you want to be, you know. It's just part of your internal tension that you have reverence for, but it's not blocking you, you know. And then we have the Emperor, someone fully empowered in their power, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Nine of Pentacles. This came out in the Liberation reading also. Someone who just kind of stepped into their own power. They were liberated from whatever was blocking them. And then we also have the Emperor, which, you know, this is someone who's also fully empowered. So this all speaks to this empowerment that's going online. And then we have this new, brand new beginning, but like it's tangible and financially viable, you know. It's like we've come into command of ourself, our light and our dark, and are stepping into this new functional, viable financial beginning where we're like in command, empowered, and we've got it going on, you know. Like this speaks to, you know, someone who's sort of like independent, you know. They're financially independent, they did things their own way. We've got this bird here, which I think speaks to like kind of in their truth, you know. And then on the next row we have the Death, the Page of Wands, and the Strength card. So again, this speaks to this profound shift that's underway, which I've been kind of referring to, and this new way of seeing things, like a new beginning that's coming online. It's requiring strength to kind of move through this moment. So it's like huge turning point. Someone just really kind of rising above something that's really held them back for a long time, you know, and ascending into this powerful place. I mean, there's been this thread on the channel for a long time called Phoenix, and it's all about this King of Pentacles who's been needing to learn this spiritual lesson so that he can ascend to the Emperor status, which that speaks to this dynasty, this destined dynasty. So it's interesting because I wonder if this refers to those storylines. I'm going to pull 3 more cards from the Muse deck to get some guidance about how we're going to move through this moment. But it's big. It's real big. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's too many cards, so I'm just not going to take them. But yeah, this is like one of those times when you're going to look back later and be like, oh my gosh, that was like a huge turning point in my life. And it's just a lot of crazy emotions being released. So it's just like really important to take care of yourself and not be overwhelmed by all of that that's being released, because it's like a lot. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So at the bottom we have the Devil upside down. And again, whenever I get upside down cards, it's kind of significant because I'm sort of anal about like turning them right side up. But this Devil is upside down. So this is good because we're like overcoming this toxic energy. So that speaks to like a profound healing that's happening, you know. And we have the Ten of Voices, the Two of Materials, and the Nine of Voices. So again, this speaks to like we're headed in this amazing new beginning. Like overall, this is a really good thing, but this moment that we're in is like this healing, this profound wound. So like all this pain is being released, you know. I mean, that's what this card speaks to. It's like the end of suffering, but it's like painful to move through that. Like you just have to kind of be in that moment and accept and walk through those emotions, because that's the only way to release them, you know. And so it's a difficult moment, even though it's leading to a good thing, you know. So it's like important to have perspective on that, because it's like we're juggling the light and the dark, you know. And it's just like try to stay focused on what's ahead and not be overwhelmed by all the emotions that are being released, because then we have the Nine of Voices, which speaks to fear and anxiety, you know. So this is like energy that's being healed, but it has to come up in order to be released. So it's like really, really important in this moment to have perspective on that. Like it's being healed, you know, and it's a moment in time that's going to pass. So remember that, because this looks really painful, you know, like this is harsh, but it's leading to a really good place. So it's just like, you know, and your ancestors are here and they're guiding you, but you're going to have to walk through and heal this really profound pain, you know. So yeah, it's really important to have perspective and just not, I mean, the last couple readings have been talking about like not being attached to an outcome, you know, just basically being present in the moment and just walking through it and experiencing it, because that's the only way, you can get through it. So okay, I'm going to the Star Seed Oracle for a couple final messages on this reading. Wow. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. So we have all paths lead home, inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So yeah, there might be like some major falling debris around you, and it might be really overwhelming. Just try to focus inward on your own stability, and like don't get sucked into drama. Like just focus on yourself and healing this energy that's being released. Like that's the best thing you can do in this moment. And we have Whale and Orca Elders. Share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So yeah, like go inward and like focus on just like healing your own frequency, your own vibration, because there's going to be a lot of noise and distractions around, and you don't want to be like vibrating there, you know. Like you want to move through this moment, because it's a tough moment, but like it's kind of like a test, you know, like before you kind of pass through to the next phase. So you've got it in you. It's going to be difficult, but the rewards are profound. So keep that in mind. Also want to remind you, I've got links down below about the ketones. I've been using them myself, and they've been like triggering really profound healing crisis on all levels, you know, like physical, spiritual, like mental. Like it's really amazing tool for transformation. But there's links down below. you know, speaking to the impacts, where you can get them, and sort of how they work in the description down below. So you check that out, and then I'll be back soon with another reading.